Hey guys, Susanna here. Well, we're up to this part where we decorate our panel. So here's the kit that you've got and all your little bits and pieces. All the lace and all that kind of stuff is underneath. I've just gotten some of the bits and pieces of where I want to go. So what you need to do after you've done the bit of sewing all the the pieces together, if you've chosen to do the 12 different pieces and change them around, if you've done a scrappy one, that's okay too. I've used the thread that you've got, and I've stitched a running stitch along here, and then you sort of go back there like that, and then start again. And if you could choose to do like one, because I was going to just do the one running stitch, but then I'm like, it's got a couple of sides, and I really like how it has turned out. It's really given that beautiful quilted look. I love that we're able to do the work on this bag flat out. Like, this is how big it is, like when you see it, how I've got to stretch it right over. So I've done a bit of a layout, and these 12 squares on the bottom, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to do any embellishing on those ones, because they get tucked in and you don't really sort of see the bottom ones. So any work that I do, that's why I'm putting all this sort of stuff on the top. So I've cut out this piece here, and yes, I'm going to be covering this beautiful beautiful rose here, but I'm just going to put it in the corner. It's going to be sewn up anyway, so I'll just put it a tad over, and this piece is going to go here. Now this other piece here, see while I'm here, I'll pin it in. Sit down. I might put this. I'll move around as I go. I'm just going to pin that down. Okay. I really love how it looks with that stitching. It's beautiful. So the pieces, the pieces that they get, of course, the fabric is the same, and the cotton that you use is the same. I just happen to have this big piece, and it's got an S on there, so I thought I'm keeping that for myself. But everyone gets a big doily and a half doily, or a smaller doily which you can cut in half. So just sort of this is how I'm displaying mine, but yours are going to be a little bit different. So I tried to give everyone a piece that's got embroidery on it. I'm going to put that there, and I'll put it probably just a little bit from the base. See, it's a bit of a windy day today. Okay, so what we're going to do, this is probably my favourite bit of the whole process of making this little bag. And then this piece I'm going to put, I was initially going to cut them off, but I quite like that it's got this edge there. So I've got a design that I'm going to be putting in I won't do it there because that's the bottom and you won't see it, but I'm going to put one there, and I was going to put one there, but I'll probably just do it in the one, and I could probably maybe even do a little bit coming out there, but I wanted to keep it as a bit of a whole because I quite like that. So very, very old this. It was a beautiful. It's quite thin, this tabley cloth thing, and it just had lots of marks. I mean, you can still see it. And I thought if I cut it up and use it as just individual, like if you've got this bit here, you could probably cut it up and put it in, you know, in a plainer part. Okay, there we go. So that's how we're having those. You probably won't see, you probably won't see that little S, you'll probably just see those two. So then what I'm going to do with these, you get your little collection of bits and pieces. I'm going to put that there. I think this one was going to go in right in the centre there. And then, where was this going to go? I can't remember. I had it. I thought that one would look really good there, and do some embroidery there. And I've got these two little pieces that I'm going to put there and there, and I think that one might have gone there. And then you use your buttons. I've got extra buttons. Everyone gets 7 buttons. So the big green one and the big pink one go into the big other ones. This one here, I was going to put on the edge of that S. Okay, so you all get a light one and a small green one, that's going to go there. The darker, the lighter pink there, and then I think dark pink, light pink on those ones. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this one here is going to go, I might put it here. I'll see how I go, but you may not end up seeing it, but it may even go into the centre of, I think I might leave that, and then I'll just grab buttons from my stash. I was thinking of putting, you know, a few buttons. I got these, and I thought, because I got this cute little thing, and I'll put, because of the yellow that's in there, I might put them. Got that from my stash. Yeah, so I might put this one here in the center, and then I'm going to do like pistol stitch and, you know, do some sort of embroidery and all that kind of stuff there. So that's the bit of the layout that I'm working on. Okay. So I'll put these back, and then I'm just going to proceed to try and put them back. Put these bits and pieces in here. There we go. So what I'm going to do today is you get your thread. Now I've got you've got the green thread in your thing. So what you do is you pull that, and I've got quite a long piece, and I'm using they've got 6 strands in them, and I'm using 2 strands, so that on the long piece that you at least get 6 long bits. You'll get quite a bit out of that. I use 2 strands on here as well. So I'm going to I was going to stitch, actually, it's going to be long enough. I'd rather start and finish it. There we go. I was going to look for another pink that matches. This is my DMC stuff. Probably too dark. Something really light. So get yourself quite a light pink. And I may get, not from the DMC, maybe hand dyed. That's nice. I might use that. Okay. But I'm going to stitch that down with, so when you get little ones like this, you stitch down in the little holes there. I'm going to go down and then come back up. Ooh, go there. And so it becomes like a backing stitch, but it holds it down. Most of the work that you will do on that, that's why I thought I'm going to do all that beforehand, because everyone knows how to do a running stitch. And any of this other stuff I can do on the camera. So just going to do that, holds it together, and I think I'm going to leave that so that it's sort of flapping in the breeze, but at least this is being held down. There we go. This has been such a joy to make. I'm loving the process of this so far. Like, it's just such me colours, so pretty. The reason why I included this thread in the kit is because I knew that you would need a heck of a lot of thread to stitch this down. And if you want to, you can go on the sewing machine, but it doesn't have the same effect as, unless you've got a sewing machine that, see how the stitch is, there's a gap in between. And I think there are some pretty fancy sewing machines out there that can do that stitch, but I don't have one of them, and I prefer to do that. It's quite relaxing, something that you can just do at your leisure. And if you have a nice big one good piece like that, you can do quite a bit of stitching without having to change your thread. Okay. I like sewing these bits down here because it it shows a bit of colour, like a tiny bit of green, but it also shows it, like it holds it down. Oh, sorry, off with the fairies. My own little world sometimes. I don't know where my mind's going. Now, one good thing about if you have two strands, sometimes, like I had enough there, but if you don't have enough and you've got two strands, you can tie the knot, a knot at the back to make sure that it ain't going to go anywhere. Okay. I thought I'd use up that little bit. Oh, my bin's gone missing. Better go and grab it. Okay. So this is left over from when I did the background. Oop, it's caught in. There we go. It feels really quite fine, quite nice. This, I got this thread from a local quilt shop, and I thought, so I cleaned her out of all the 117. She had extra boxes in a drawer, so I thought I'll just grab the boxes and what was laying in stock as well. Okay, so back again. There we go. So how are we all going? I am very in autumn here in Australia, and it's actually been rather warm weather, and today is one of the first sort of colder ones we've had. So, okay, just adjusting myself. So I might pause it and keep going to the end because you don't want to watch me. You know, it's pretty simple stitchery, and because you've got a beautiful doily that is already being stitched on, you don't need to do any other work. And then I'll come back and probably, I wouldn't mind sewing that down, maybe in the pink or something like that. I'll be back. Okay guys, back again. So what I've done, if I've stitched that on here, you can sort of just see that going along there. I've done a running stitch on the top, which will be covered by when you sew the top, and I've just sewed those buttons on there so that it holds it down, because the embroidery doesn't hold it. It's only being held down by that and that, just so it doesn't come apart. And so I've put them in places where they sort of look like little flowers, and these are just buttons from my stash, so but they work perfectly with the yellow. I've gone here and with some white DMC, just two well, floss, whatever you call it, well this happens to be DMC, and use 2 strands like I did with the 2 strands of this, and I've just stitched across there and just done a slip stitch. I might still go in like on the inside to hold that down, so I might do that a little bit off camera, but I want to do some stitching along here, or even in here, maybe some like squirrely leaves and stuff, and just pretty it up a bit. So I thought I'd just stitch that down, but for now I'm going to start with this flower here, and I want to put it there, but I don't want to have it too on it. Leave a little bit of have it a little bit lower, because I want to keep the you know, because I'm going to be stitching here, so it may catch the top part of it anyway. I was going to sort of stick it halfway between the both of them, but I may have to go over it just a tad. Okay, so just get a pin, maybe a longer one of these ones, little bee ones. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is with this green again, now on the bigger ones I'm going to have the same colour button, whereas on the smaller ones I'm going to have the opposite colour button. So everyone's got a green button. So I'll start here, and then I'm just going to do a slip stitch to hold this down, and then the button will hold the centre down. So, and a lot of the stitches that we're doing in here are stitches that you don't end up seeing. Just a tiny little stitch to hold it down. And then it'll go all the way around. And see, sometimes there's a bit like that. So make sure that it gets held down, because this was from when these hand dyed pieces are from like bigger tablecloths. So you just make and you've got to cut the bits off, so you just have to make sure that you're always catching something when it's being held. Such a pretty colour. Hopefully still in camera. So this stitch here is the same stitch that I used in the white. Some of you have got cream, use the cream. So I've matched it so that you don't see it and it's on the edge. So use a strand of thread, and I use DMC rather than pearl because it's thinner, and so you're not going to see it as much. I tend to use the pearl cotton for when I actually do embroidery or sewing or something like that. Okay. Okay. I'm probably going to do a lot of stuff off camera. I'm hoping to I'll take a photo of the finished placement of all of these, and along with the picture of the actual finished bag. I'd like to have a photo of the placement of all this, so in the kit as well. Okay. So my favourite colours are pink and green. You can probably tell a lot of my projects are in the sort of pastel-y colours. I mean, I do like rich vintage colours as well, but pastels are just so pretty. Okay, you might take that out now. Put that there. So thought I'll just show you with one, because there's quite a few of them, what you need to do. So the same applies for all of them. The very small ones, these little ones here, you could probably even do a contrasting colour and pick up, like do it and make it a little bit longer so they become like flowers, but you'll see that in the picture anyway. Yeah. This would also make a really nice, like in a smaller version, a really pretty wall hanging with a saying, I think. So, thinking. There we go. Gets done pretty quick. Just wondering whether I need to go around the inside as well, which I may do that. Okay. rather than unthreading, I am just going to capture a bit and then go around. And so I might just, you know, do like a running stitch around here that will hold that middle part down. Oop. Hopefully this is all still in camera. And then once that's all down, we can get our button, and then those bits are down. They do need to be held down because bags do tend to be flung around. So you do want it to be held down. Now grab that, and then with the leftover piece we will come through the middle, probably up here. There you go, you can see how it's being stitched down. Ugh, excuse me. There we go. Now, yep, still seeing if we're in camera. Okay, so we'll put it through there. Okay. Pull it tight. We want a fair bit. Usually I do about 4 each way. Hopefully I've got enough. So when you start doing this, have a fairly long thread so you don't have to redo it. And then find yourself some pink to do the pink ones. I'm going to use that one. Yeah, like I said, the reason why you got the DMC for it, because you're going to mainly use it for the background, and I'm going to stick to a basic pink and green colour palette, and maybe, you know, like white, because I'm going to use white here, so I'm going to do green along here, like doing leaves, and then maybe some French knots with pink flowers. I may just hold that down with the white because it's a pretty flower on its own, but I'll just stick to the pink and green colour palette. And like with anything, you can do as much or as little as you like. So, okay. Where are we? So that's the basic thing that you need to do for all the buttons and doilies. Which is, there's a few of them. I don't think it's coming out on me. I'll fix that in a minute. Yeah, so that's what that looks like. So the other bigger one, that's going to go there, and I'll use the pink on that. I'm going to do the opposite, so it's not as close to that one there, because this is sort of the center of the bag. And then opposite color, I think the two darker ones, where are they? The light one on there, the dark one on there. That'll look really nice. And then where did I have this one? I think I had that one there. Had this one here and that one there with the opposite colour buttons. The green's going to go on there, and there's a light pink, I think. One of the two, or a dark pink, whatever. I think you can see that. And then this beautiful pink button there, and that goes in the middle. So, and you can sort of see where that is. So I'm going to do the same stitching. I'll probably get a sort of an off-white cream and stitch that there. And then this button here, I was thinking of having that in the middle and maybe using that as a centre of the flower. But because it's so close to that one, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we're going to do with that. Okay guys, I'll catch you in the next video. So it's just basically attaching the pieces and embellishing it, and it's only on the first three. You don't worry about the bottom. So okay, well thank you for watching. It's coming together rather nicely, and I'll turn it off and you'll see all the embroidery and everything on the next video, which will probably be where I'll show you what I've done and like putting it together, like sewing the backing piece, and then you've got to, you know, putting it all together in the drawstring and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be the next, that's probably the hardest part. This is the fun part. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and I hope you can join me sewing this beautiful project. Thanks for watching. Bye.